Hey everybody, ABC10 Meteorologist Brenden Mincheff here with a weather impact alert update. The heavy rain continues. I hear it on the roof of the building right now. So taking a live look at radar, you can see a lot of the yellows and oranges out there. That equates to some heavy rain. Take a look at some of these cameras. This is our tower cam from the ABC10 studios looking towards the Tower Bridge, Interstate 5. The slow traffic there is Interstate 5 northbound. And that's not just clouds, that's rain that you see. This is Golden One Center GUNC, a soggy scene at the home of the Kings. Thankfully, they're not home tonight. They're actually out in Los Angeles against the Clippers. So here at home, though, like I said, taking a look at that radar satellite, lots of orange, lots of yellow. That is heavy rain, unfortunately, just in time for the evening commute. Taking a look at some of the Caltrans cameras, I-80 at Donner. It was rain earlier. We were talking about how expected to be rain for most of the daytime. That snow level has come down just enough that it's now at the passes, and there are chain controls across Donner as well. Here's Echo right now. It doesn't look wet, but it's not snowing at Echo. I-5 at the International Airport, I-5 at Richards. You can see, especially downtown, just how wet things are when you look into the headlights of the oncoming traffic. So taking a little closer look at I-80 at Donner. Again, we see snow on the cameras. It's hard to see, but you can see the roads are starting to get a little covered there. That's why there are chain controls in effect across the highest stretch of Interstate 80 right now. I-80 at Kingvale, you can see them checking for chains here. Roads are wet, so this is the point now where the winter weather kicks in, and it's going to be deteriorating through this evening, through the overnight hours, and it's going to continue to not be good travel weather all the way through Saturday, and I expect most of Sunday as well, just because of how much snow we are expecting to see out of this storm. One more camera here. This is US 50. Excuse me, US 50 at Echo Summit. Again, it's wet. There's rain. There's not snow at Echo right now, but the snow levels are going to continue to come down as the afternoon turns into the evening hours. So those ABC10 weather impact headlines: steady heavy rain, high snow levels still. It's really just at the passes that we're seeing snow, but it is going to be coming down through the evening, like I've said a few times now. So heavy snow still expected, especially tonight and into Saturday. The reason that we're seeing this change in the pattern, remember, we've had just kind of showery weather the last few days. We picked up less than an inch of rain from Tuesday through Friday morning, but that's because the atmospheric river was off to our north, really along Cape Mendocino. I-80 has kind of been that demarcation line where kind of changed from rain to no rain. North of I-80, we've seen rain. South of I-80, we really haven't seen rain. So the change today is that atmospheric river shifted south. It's pointed directly at us now. And as it continues to track off slowly to the south through tomorrow, slowly our rain chances will taper off, but it's going to mean more snow up in the Sierra because that colder air on the other side of the atmospheric river is going to trickle into the Sierra. So that's what's going to lower those snow levels as we go through the evening hours and then overnight tonight. So over the last 24 hours, you can see that shift in the AR. Wait for it to restart. Here it is. So you see how yesterday it was pointed up to the north coast, but then this morning you saw that very evident shift in the atmospheric river in the center of it, straight across Interstate 80 into the capital region. So there's where it is right now. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to understand why we've got the heaviest rain that we've seen at any point during the storm so far, at least for us here in Sacramento. Still not seeing all that much down in Stockton, Modesto. Finally starting to get a little rain in Stockton, maybe some very light showers down in Modesto. We've picked up almost nothing in the San Joaquin Valley to this point, but there is more rain to come. And you see some heavier rain out near Vacaville, Fairfield right now towards Vallejo out into the Bay Area. That's going to be working its way into the capital region through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. And so this rain is not done. We still have several hours of rain still to go before they'll start to taper off. And even tomorrow, as we see on Futurecast here in a few minutes, even tomorrow, we're going to have some scattered showers, especially in the morning hours. Not a whole lot of snow just yet, but those snow levels now just a little bit lower than Donner Pass, and that's why those chains have kicked in, and I expect that chains will be needed really for much of the next 36 hours or so, and travel conditions, especially across the high passes, will only continue to get worse before it gets better. So those rainfall totals across Northern California from Tuesday through 2 p.m. today, coastal mountains 12 to 22 inches of rain. That is a lot of rain for the coastal range. Shasta Dam, almost a foot of rain since Tuesday. Santa Rosa, almost a foot of rain since Tuesday. They've had some pretty major flooding problems out in Santa Rosa the last couple of days. Ukiah over 8 inches, Chico over 8 inches, Oroville Dam 7.5 inches, Blue Canyon 4.5 inches, downtown Sacramento now over 1.5 inches. And by the way, let's keep in mind, this was at 2 p.m. So it's continued to rain since 2 p.m. in Sacramento. So that number is going to be even higher to this point. Stockton over 1/10 of an inch. But again, Modesto, as of 2 p.m., still had yet to record measurable rainfall. I do want to talk specifically about today, November 22nd, because as of 2 o'clock, the amount of rain that we've seen since midnight, so today, is almost 9/10 of an inch of rain. The November 22nd rainfall record, so the rainiest November 22nd on record for downtown Sacramento, is about 1 1/10 inches. That was in 1978. We are going to get pretty close to this number, I suspect, if not over. We're going to give it a run. We may not get there. I have a sneaking suspicion we will get there. So we'll keep an eye on this, and we'll know for sure by Saturday morning whether or not we set a new rainiest November 22nd in Sacramento. Taking a look at Futurecast now, there's that heavier rain that we saw on radar a few minutes ago, and that's going to continue to be heavy as we go through the evening commute hours. Still not a lot of snow to talk about. That snow is going to stay roughly to Kingvale, Donner elevations. It's not going to be real low until we get after sunset into the late evening overnight hours. But you see that rain just continues to pump in to the valley. And finally, after sunset, I think we're going to see some heavier rain down in the San Joaquin Valley. That'll be the heaviest rain they've seen, easily the heaviest rain they've seen pretty much all week down there. And then that rain threat, that flooding threat, is going to shift into the foothills. Once we get towards about 9-10 o'clock tonight, that'll be the heaviest rain. And you'll notice snow levels are starting to lower as well at this point. It's pretty evident by midnight that that snow starts to work its way down the mountain. We may see a little bit of a tapering through really the really early morning hours, 2 to 4 a.m. But then we're going to see some more rain showers back in the valley and snow overspreads at the Sierra once again through Saturday. So again, it's going to get worse before it gets better in terms of travel conditions across the Sierra. Tomorrow does look mostly dry in the valley. I will say we will still have some scattered showers in the area, but we'll finally get some more sunshine returning tomorrow. It won't be totally sunny, but we'll get some more sunshine. But notice through Saturday afternoon, we continue to see snow showers in the Sierra. It will taper a little bit, but it's not going away completely. By Sunday, then that rain snow threat really tapers off. We'll have some clouds waking up Sunday morning, but most of us Sunday morning are going to be dry, and round one of the rain and snow will be done. You look off to the west, though, Sunday afternoon, you see more rain out along the north coast. That is going to work its way into the valley by the time we get to the start of the work week. So we're talking about 2 rounds of rain and snow. First one is right now, and that'll continue into Sunday morning, basically, before we're all dry. And then starting Monday and continuing into Tuesday, we'll have some more rain and snow. The flash flood potential for Friday is in the valley, right? That's a level 2 slight risk, which means about a 15% chance of flash flooding. But you also see some pockets of that level 3 moderate risk, which would be a 40% chance. And this does include places like the Park Fire burn scar. So that's something we'll be keeping a close eye on. Even though rain totals are impressive, the rainfall rates haven't been all that high. And that is good news because it can help prevent some of the debris flows, mudslides, landslides, whatever that we can sometimes see around those wildfire burn scars. There is a flood advisory in effect until 9 p.m. tonight for the entirety of the valley, out through the Delta and Bay Area. In fact, there's also a flash flood warning out for San Francisco for the next few hours. But this also includes the Sacramento metro area because we are seeing urban flooding. We're seeing ponding on roadways. You're not going to get to where you're going quickly this evening, that's for sure. There's already water on the roads. It is actively raining. Be safe getting home tonight. Don't rush it. You're going to get there when you get there. It is not a race. There's no trophy for you waiting at home. It's not a race. Just get there safely. That is the number one most important thing. Before we talk about snow some more, I'm going to talk about the wind because we were thinking there was going to be a little bit of a wind threat in the valley today. It looks like that is not going to be the case. It is breezy out there for sure. Some winds up to about 15 miles per hour, but the real wind is up in the Sierra, and you see all the purples there. That would be 50+ mile per hour gusts, and we even see that there in South Lake Tahoe, looking at gusts of 50 miles per hour or stronger, and that'll continue through the overnight. Tomorrow's still going to be very windy in the high country, but it won't be quite as windy. Gusts about 30 miles per hour to 40 for most of the daytime. Tomorrow in the valley, again, mainly dry, at least starting to dry out compared to where we have been. But it is going to be breezy at times, 15, 20 miles per hour, maybe a base level wind of about 10, gusting stronger than that. But again, that wind in the high country continues until we get late Saturday and into Sunday morning, and then finally that wind dies down. Let's talk about the snow, the winter aspects of this storm. Winter storm warning begins tonight, continues until 4 p.m. on Tuesday, because again, this is 2 rounds of rain and snow that we're talking about. So round 1 in terms of winter weather is just now beginning. Round 2 happens at the start of the work week. So because this runs through 4 p.m. on Tuesday, we're talking about 1 to 4 feet of snow, gusts of 50 miles per hour or more, chain controls, which are now in effect across the highest portions of Interstate 80. Travel at this point is starting to be discouraged, right? It's going to get worse and worse. Your travel to window probably closed at this point. If you are going up there, be prepared for the chain controls, be prepared for winter weather, and just all around difficult driving. Again, that window for good travel weather to the Sierra is closed at this point because the snow is now falling and snow levels are only going to get lower. So if you don't have to go up to the Sierra, my personal recommendation would be don't go up to the Sierra if you don't have to until after the storm, just because of the strong winds and the heavy snow. Snow is going to start to come down faster as we go through tonight and tomorrow. In addition to the winter storm warning, we have an avalanche watch for the greater Tahoe region that continues until tomorrow morning. This is because of the snow that's coming down and the wind as well. It may result in some unstable snowpack for some places. Now, that snow level forecast, it's been about past level, but finally we're starting to see it at Donner, right? So by tonight, it's going to drop to about 6,000 feet. By Saturday morning, down to 5,000 feet. Saturday night, that snow really does start to taper off for most of the Sierra, but that colder air will be firmly in place by Saturday night, which is why snow levels of 4,000 feet are possible. So model snowfall totals from this afternoon through the early evening hours, we're only talking about a couple of inches or so. There's not that much snow to fall right now. Snow levels are still high. They're just barely at Donner right now. Places like Kingvale, maybe we're seeing some flurries, but still off and on rain. It's kind of mixed. It's not until we get overnight into tomorrow that finally those snow levels drop. So that's when we're really going to start to see that snow develop. So by Sunday morning, when that snow stops falling, we're all pretty much dry by Sunday morning. We're looking at a foot to 2 of snow for many places. But remember, we're going to see round 2 that comes in to start the work week. Not as big of a storm. It's kind of some wraparound moisture, weaker low pressure associated with it. But we're still going to see some additional snow in the Sierra and some additional rain in the valley. So by the time the storms are all said and done, round 1, round 2 come to an end, we're talking likely 2 to 3 feet of snow across the central Sierra. There's pretty good model agreement this afternoon. I will say the European model, which now is in better agreement of closer to 2 to 3 feet, has at times been a little higher than that. We've seen some 35-inch snow estimates. So the chance is definitely there that we end up closer to 3 feet across the central Sierra, but a good ballpark is going to be somewhere between, I would say, 20 to 30 inches for many, especially many of the ski resorts in the high country. And speaking of the ski resorts, many are now open thanks to the snowfall. So Mammoth, Mount Rose, Heavenly, and North Star all open. Sugar Bowl, Palisades, Tahoe, and Boreal all opened ahead of schedule because of the snow that we've gotten from the storm. Sierra at Tahoe is planning to open November 29th, and Kirkwood planning to open on December 6th. But with all the snow that we are expecting to see, who knows, maybe those dates will be moved up. We'll keep you updated on that. Let's look a little longer range. Let's talk about round 2 in terms of rain and snow. This is round 1. This is midnight tonight. You see the snow levels coming down, still some showers in the area. It's likely overdoing some of the rain that we're going to see in the valley tomorrow, but snow, remember, is likely to continue all the way into Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Then we get a little bit of a break before round 2 starts to move in later on in the evening, Sunday into Monday. By Monday afternoon, some scattered showers possible in the valley, scattered snow showers up in the high country. Tuesday's a much better chance of rain in the valley, better chance of snow up in the Sierra as well. That'll linger through most of the daytime on Wednesday, especially the snow in the Sierra. And then we dry out headed into Thanksgiving. So this is Thursday at 3 p.m. Obviously, that would be Thanksgiving, right? And you see clear skies across the region. So that's good news as it relates to travel weather, right? But before we kind of put a bow on all this, let's talk about how much more rain we're going to see. Remember, we've already seen 9/10 of an inch of rain today alone in Sacramento, which brings our storm total rainfall in downtown Sacramento to over 1.5 inches. And by tomorrow at lunchtime, we're talking about another inch. So just by tomorrow at lunchtime, even while that rain, those lingering rain showers are still out there, we're talking about another inch of rain. Now, through the weekend, after Saturday lunchtime, we mainly dry out. There's not going to be a whole lot out there in the valley, so those rain totals will be fairly stagnant. But when round 2 comes in, you'll notice a lot more moisture up in the Sierra. We're talking about maybe another 1/2 inch of rain across parts of the valley. The European model here, that was the American. This is the European. European model is a little more aggressive on the valley rainfall. I think when this is all said and done and we get to Thanksgiving, we're going to be talking about storm total rainfalls here, storm rainfall totals of close to 3 or 4 inches for Sacramento total. So there's definitely still a lot of rain to come, especially considering we have more rain chances to start the work week. That's just to give you an idea what we're checking. So weather impact alerts today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Round 1, again, is going to end sometime Saturday. We're going to have a break, especially in the valley. We're going to have a break in the rain between Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. Not going to be a total washout of a weekend. Important to remember that it's going to be soggy out there. It's going to be muddy. Things are going to be wet just because of how much rain that we are going to pick up. But there will be a break where we'll even have some sunshine out there. Then at some point later on in the day, Sunday, round 2 is going to push in. Scattered showers Sunday night. And for Monday, likely lingering into Tuesday as well. And we're going to have more snow in the Sierra out of all this. But by the time we get to the holiday, things dry out. We're looking at mostly sunny skies at this point. It will be cooler, though. Thanksgiving, a high temperature of 55 degrees, low temperature of 38. So instead of the rain jacket, you can just wear your warmer jacket by the time we get to the holiday. That's it for me today. I'll see you tomorrow morning, Saturday morning on ABC10 Weekend Morning News. Carly Gomez will have you covered for the rest of Friday night.